A few days ago, I made a video about living in Shenzhen and the Greater Bay Area on $1,000 per month. It was quite rough, and some netizens questioned it, wondering how a developed global first-tier city like Shenzhen could have such low living costs. Actually, we have a misconception about Chinese cities, especially the Pearl River Delta where Shenzhen is located. In Western countries, the central urban area of a city might only have a few 100,000 people, and one with over 1 million is considered a first-tier metropolis. For example, Vancouver and Toronto are composed of many satellite towns with a total population of just a few million. Take Shenzhen as an example. Its official permanent resident population is 18 million, but since Chinese people can freely migrate within the country and those not working are not counted in Shenzhen, the total resident population should exceed 20 million. Shenzhen is a city with 100% urbanization rate, meaning it is not composed of countless satellite towns, but is one single city. However, Shenzhen is divided into several different administrative districts, each with sub-districts below them, and sub-districts have various neighborhood committees. Every sub-district has its own commercial center, connected by a vast subway and bus network. Ordinary office workers, besides going to their companies, rarely visit core areas like Futian Central District or Nanshan District. These places full of office buildings are often quiet on non-working days. Take Buji Sub-District as an example. Its population exceeds 1 million, surpassing the total population of many countries' large cities, crowded into a relatively small area. Near the gateways to the core urban areas, infrastructure is relatively complete and housing costs are not high, so a large population concentrates there. Areas like the border between Baoan District and Nanshan District, or near Mailin checkpoint from Longhua District to Futian District, also house a large population. If you rent in Shenzhen's core urban areas or these gateway regions, the cost will certainly not be cheap. However, within Shenzhen's administrative divisions, there are many places where rent is cheaper than in third or fourth-tier cities, and they can still enjoy Shenzhen's developed infrastructure and public welfare, making them excellent choices for digital nomads. Take Kingxi as an example. I found a listing on 58.com, just a random search. The rent is only 1,050 yuan RMB, which is $150. It is a one-bedroom, one-living-room unit with 33 square meters. Basic furniture is all there. Water, electricity, and internet are fully connected. The interior is clean and hygienic, very cost-effective for someone living alone. If 2 people or a family live there, around 2,000 yuan, which is $300, can get a very good living unit. Internet costs in China are very low. 200 yuan RMB can cover gigabit fiber optic network, 3 phone cards, and 5G data is almost unlimited. I personally have never exhausted my data, so I do not pay attention to the exact amount. Even after data is exhausted, you can still browse news online, just with restricted speed. Next are water and electricity costs. For a single person living there, it will not exceed $5 in taxes and fees per month. Electricity is relatively high because Shenzhen needs air conditioning turned on for more than half the year due to the heat. But in such a small apartment, including your office use, electricity within $60 is sufficient to cover. We calculate at $100, so monthly housing costs are roughly $250 to $300. The remaining $700 for food, transportation, and entertainment are completely sufficient with some leftover. Additionally, we need to know that in China, everything can be ordered online and delivered to your home, from hardware products like computers and phones to takeout. If you do not want to go out, you can stay in the apartment for a year. But this does not mean you have to live like in prison. Below, we look at the specific situation of this apartment. In terms of location, it is dozens of kilometers from Shenzhen city center. To go to the most core downtown, the Shenzhen Convention and Exhibition Center in Futian District, you need to take a bus, transfer subway twice, taking more than 2 hours, costing about $2.5. Because Shenzhen subway fares start at 2 yuan RMB with a cap of 15 yuan, meaning the highest subway fare is just over $2, and bus starts at 2 yuan. As a freelancer, you do not need to go to downtown every day. Please note that although your sub-district does not have skyscrapers like Futian or Nanshan districts, it is also very modern, surpassing the downtown facilities of many large cities in Western countries. You can reach them by bike, so configuring an electric bicycle for yourself is obviously cost-effective. Of course, such a cheap apartment is not a modern high-rise, but self-built houses by local Shenzhen residents. The exterior probably looks like this. I pulled up satellite images of the apartment community. Everyone can observe that the environment is very clean. The buildings are somewhat old, but do not affect living. Within 1 kilometer around Kangxi, searching for convenience stores and small supermarkets will find many. In fact, you have no need to go to large malls for shopping. Many small supermarkets nearby can fully meet your daily shopping needs without queuing. But if you insist on going to a big mall, there must be a large comprehensive mall within a few kilometers nearby. If you insist on going to the familiar Walmart, taking subway or bus within an hour can get it done. Similarly, within 2 kilometers of where you live, there is a McDonald's. But according to my experience, foreigners coming to China, once they start eating Chinese food, will never eat McDonald's or KFC again. Your stomach will undergo an epic level upgrade. At the end of the video, I want to say that Shenzhen's prosperity and modernization exceed many people's imagination. Even if you have seen it in videos, when you truly experience it in person, you will still feel shocked. However, the prosperous downtown in these videos is not the most suitable place for us to live. The relatively old local self-built communities I showed you are actually very good choices. If you insist on living in very modern high-rise apartments or really want to enjoy high-floor sea-view apartments, you do not need to worry about your wallet. In the next video, I will tell you how to achieve this dream near Shenzhen, still with $1,000 sufficient to cover your life. Similar videos will be put in the Living in China playlist. If you are only interested in similar videos, you can watch this playlist. This channel updates irregularly. Welcome to leave comments and discuss. Please do not try to contact me. My life is very simple. Besides the internet, I do not contact anyone.